With his disease worsening, Baldwin IV crowned his nephew in November 1183, creating a kind of diarchy, a realm with two kings. Baldwin V, still a child, soon came to be viewed as the safeguard of dynastic and political continuity. To be sure his decision would stand, Baldwin IV summoned an assembly of the kingdom's leading barons and religious authorities, laying out the terms of government after his death. Yet the move didn't wipe out internal political tension. Guy of Lusignan, earlier removed from the regency, remained an influential, troublesome presence in Ascalon and Jaffa, openly challenging the Leper king's authority and deepening rifts among the nobles. Still, Baldwin IV fought to keep political and military control, surrounding himself with loyal advisors and shoring up the realm's strategic defenses while his health declined day by day. Despite the extreme weakness brought on by advanced leprosy, Baldwin tried right to the end to hold the Kingdom of Jerusalem together, adopting diplomatic and military measures to curb both the outside threat led by Saladin and the dangerous infighting that undercut stability. Even so, instability lingered, and weakened by illness, Baldwin could plainly see his days as an active ruler were numbered. To shield young Baldwin V from any bid for the throne after his death, Baldwin IV convened a council of top barons and churchmen, reaffirming the heir's rights and setting clear rules for how power would be transferred. One of King Baldwin IV's final acts, carried out amid Jerusalem's mounting hardships, shows the political wisdom and strategic skill he maintained to his last days, despite leprosy's trials. With the realm under constant threat of famine and racked by internal trouble, Baldwin realized an endless war with Saladin couldn't be sustained. So a 2-year truce was struck between Baldwin and Saladin. The truce let trade resume between the Christian states and their Muslim neighbors, restoring a vital flow of food and goods, and helped prevent famine from ravaging the land. That agreement was among Baldwin's last political acts, reflecting his steady aim to secure the kingdom's survival and stability in hard times. With what strength remained, Baldwin called key meetings of the realm's chief nobles and church leaders. Those gatherings aimed above all to renew the pledge to defend the kingdom and maintain political unity once his death came. In March 1185, Baldwin IV succumbed to complications from the disease that had plagued him since childhood, dying very young at 24. The king's death stirred deep grief and consternation in Jerusalem and throughout the realm. As news spread, an official mourning period began at once. Funeral rites were held everywhere, with the whole population involved, from peasants to high nobility and clergy. Churches and monasteries offered special masses and prayers, and Jerusalem's streets filled with the faithful honoring the king who, though young, had become a symbol of resistance and faith. Saladin showed genuine, deep respect for the young Christian king, who he deemed a worthy, honorable foe. Though they had fought each other, Saladin viewed their bond as more than mere military rivalry. He truly admired the courage, moral strength, and dignity with which Baldwin faced illness and the burdens of his reign. The monarch's passing brought Saladin a mix of strategic relief and sincere personal sorrow. He felt the world had lost a rare example of bravery and honor. The king's body was carefully prepared and laid on a bier adorned with royal and religious emblems. The funeral cortege moved slowly through Jerusalem's narrow ancient streets, with clerics chanting hymns and prayers, nobles in mourning dress, and soldiers standing at respectful attention, weapons lowered. The people of Jerusalem followed in reverent silence, many in tears, paying homage to the monarch who had borne his affliction with such dignity and courage. Along the way, commoners, merchants, and pilgrims joined the throng, silently showing grief and admiration. The solemnity culminated at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, a sacred place reserved for the realm's most venerated monarchs and leaders. There, by candlelight and priestly prayers, Baldwin IV was laid to rest with full royal honors. His tomb, inscribed to exalt his sacrifice and courage, soon became a site of pilgrimage and reflection for Christians. After Baldwin IV's death, his young nephew Baldwin V, already crowned earlier, formally took the throne under the regency of Raymond III of Tripoli. Raymond III thus became the kingdom's acting political and military leader, steering decisions in a notably unstable era. That same year, William of Montferrat, grandfather to young King Baldwin V, reached the kingdom. As the lone European crusader to arrive in Jerusalem in 1185, he settled on a fief in Galilee, briefly aiding regional stability. Baldwin V's reign was brief. During it, Raymond tried to steady the realm while facing mounting tension among noble factions. The lack of a clear adult on the throne widened rivalries. The sudden death of Baldwin V in August 1186, at just 9 years of age, shook the kingdom of Jerusalem to its core. Suspicions and charges flew at once, fueling strife between factions backing Guy of Lusignan and Raymond III. The young king's early passing sparked an immediate succession crisis that would climax in the disputed coronation of Queen Sibylla, sister to Baldwin IV, and of Guy of Lusignan as king in fact. Though power shifted in ways the Leper king hadn't planned, Baldwin IV's legacy far outstripped the bounds of his short life and its harsh circumstances. From the start, his life bore the weight of a crippling disease that weakened his body, yet constantly tested his resolve and courage. Even so, he wouldn't let those limits keep him from leading with dignity, wisdom, and bravery during one of the Crusade's most turbulent, decisive phases. His ability to unite a fractured kingdom, even as his own body weakened fast, became the ultimate symbol of resilience and devotion to his cause. Baldwin was more than a political or military leader. He was a living model of moral perseverance, whose very presence inspired soldiers and people alike to hold out against the threats surrounding Jerusalem. After his death, his figure kept being revered and remembered with deep admiration by later generations. Tales of his life and battles inspired many. His reign was marked by an unwavering resolve to protect Christian faith and lands, even at enormous personal cost. Today, Baldwin IV's story still stands as living proof of human courage and of our capacity to overcome seemingly impossible trials.